what's going on, guys? This is my DVD review of Chikara's The Mint Condition. But before I get into it, let me just say I would not really recommend this show. I think it was okay. I just would not really recommend it. But let's get right down to it. We get Lince, Dorado, Pink Ant, a.k.a. Pinky Sanchez, and Daizee Haze of the Bruderschaft versus the Colony. Without a doubt, I'm going to say this is the match of the night. It was really, really good. The ending might hurt it for some people. It was a disqualification. Sorry to ruin it, but this would have been awesome if it just had an ending. I really, really enjoyed it. You know, the Colony, Green Ant, Fire Ant, and Soldier Ant did some great things together. Some great combinations all together. And I thought it was great. The interaction between Daizee Haze and the Colony was really, really good. I thought Daizee Haze played the bitch role pretty nicely. I think Pinky Sanchez has a lot of charisma, a lot of talent, as does Lince Dorado. I thought this had all the elements for a great opener. Really, really good stuff. Next up, we had Delirious versus Player Dose. I like this match. This was one of the better matches on the show. It was great to put these two guys together. They're pretty evenly matched in size and stature, and Delirious fits in pretty well in Chikara, even more so than ROH. He's been pretty stale in ROH, but here against Player Dose, they had a nice back and forth match. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. The ending was pretty sick. So the crowd wasn't too into it, but they were into it pretty much. Next up, we have F.I.S.T and the Bad Boys. The Bad Boys are like this new redneck tag team in Chikara, and they're really good though. They're pretty good heels, and maybe the wrestling's not that great, but they have their heel tactics. Their heel tactics are pretty solid. And then those four guys teamed up to face the Osirian Portal and Frightmare and Hallowicked. Pretty good 8-man tag match. It went a little bit too long, dragged a little bit, but the match featured a lot of good things. I thought Gran Akuma was pretty slick out there. He did some pretty slick things. Osirian Portal looked okay. Frightmare, like I've said before, he was voted the Rookie of the Year on 401mania.com, so I think that says a lot right there. And yeah, it was okay. Like I said, just a little bit too long. All right, next up we have Claudio, Castagnoli, and Aries of the Bruderschaft teaming up to face the Throwbacks. I think the Throwbacks have an awesome gimmick. I really like him. I think they can improve a little bit as a tag team. There's room for improvement, but this match is pretty fun. It was probably the weakest match up to this point. Spot of the match, Claudio and Aries teamed up and took what's his name, Sugar. I think his name is Sugar Dunkerfield, Sugar Dunkerton. The other guy's name is Dasher Hatfield, the baseball guy. But the basketball guy, the Harlem Globetrotter, they took him and started like bouncing him like he was a basketball. I thought that was awesome. And it kind of a semi-squash, but the Throwbacks got some nice offense in. So, all right, next up we have Player Uno challenging the Young Lions Cup champion, Tim Donst, who had just beaten Player Dose at the previous show. Tim Donst cut a okay promo before the match. He talked about how he's the Young Lions Cup champion. He's a pretty good heel. He's very different from anyone in the wrestling business today. He's kind of out of shape and everything, but he knows how to talk on the mic, and he's very intelligent as well. Him and Player Uno had the match was not that good, actually, to tell you the truth. The crowd had a tough time getting into it. But surprisingly, as it went along, they got into Player Uno, tried to root him on, but Tim Donst kind of played the bully role pretty nicely and put Player Uno away to retain the Young Lions Cup. So not really a good match. Next up, we had Eddie Kingston taking on Tursas from the Bruderschaft. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Is it Turas or Tursas? I think it's Tursas. All right. I should really know that shit. But, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, Eddie Kingston cut a short, sweet promo before the match. I wouldn't say it was a great Eddie Kingston promo. It was just short and sweet. And Claudio came out, interfered. And, this is kind of a squash match. But it definitely adds a little bit more turmoil to the Eddie Kingston-Claudio Castagnoli feud. And I like this because I think Claudio needs to be more of a leader. I think he could... use this opportunity that he has in Chikara to showcase, just how great he is. I think he needs to be more vocal. I think he needs to get on the mic and explain, what the purpose of the Bruderschaft is, and just take more of a leadership role. So I did like Claudio's involvement in this match. I think that's what needed to be done. Next up, we have the main event. Kind of disappointing. It was a good main event. Just some parts of the match really dragged for me. We had the Unstable and Brodie Lee taking on my Quackenbush, Jigsaw, Helios, and Equinox. Everyone on Quackenbush's team could pretty much go. I like all of them, but the Unstable, I'm not really sold on the Unstable yet. I'm not that big of a Brodie Lee fan. However, I will say that Brodie Lee looked great in this match. I thought it looked really, really good. Um, like I said, there was some points in the match where it was kind of dry, but like the last 5 minutes were really, really awesome. The crowd loved the last 5 minutes. It really picked up. Quackenbush looked amazing. Jigsaw pulled out some nice stuff. Really fast-paced action. The ending was kind of reminiscent of the CHIKARA Showcase match from the Dragon Gate pay-per-view. So I really enjoyed the main event overall. I'd probably give it like a solid 3.5 stars, which is good. And but match of the night was the opener. Yeah, Lince Dorado, Pinky Sanchez, and Daizee Haze taking on the Colony. That was the match of the night. So overall, I would not really recommend this show. Definitely not worth the $20. But if you could try to find it pretty cheaply on eBay, maybe go for it. Or next time CHIKARA has a sale, it's not a bad show. It's just not something I would go out of your way to see. But there's some good things on it though. So all right. All right, so next up we get a World of Comforting Illusion. This is pretty much the weaker show, but both of these shows are kind of on the same level. A pretty fun show, but as far as match quality goes, just I don't know, it just didn't have that great match. Next up we have the Unstable versus the Throwbacks. Pretty fun opener, but for an opening match, kind of disappointing though. I like the Throwbacks, but really nothing special. All right, next up we have Brodie Lee and Green Ant. Really short, but I liked it. I thought Brodie Lee looked really impressive for the amount of time it went. It was pretty good. Next up, we had Daizee, Haze, and Sara versus Hallowicked and Frightmare. Really, really fun. You get two girls going at it to face Hallowicked and Frightmare, and it's told a great story. I thought Daizee and Sara were great in their roles. I'm glad to see them getting some shine in CHIKARA. Hallowicked and Frightmare did some really cool spots out there, so I really, really enjoyed this. It went about 9 minutes, so it was very, very fun. Probably the funnest match on the show for the time that it got. Next up, we had Claudio, Castagnoli, and Aries of the B.D.K. versus the Bad Boys versus the Osirian Portal versus Super Smash Brothers. Four-way elimination tag match. This went a little bit too long. It kind of was very dry on some parts of the match. It kind of dragged, but eventually Osirian Portal were the first guys eliminated. Then the Bad Boys. Then it came down to Super Smash Brothers versus Claudio and Aries. And it got pretty good. The crowd got really into it, and they did not want player Uno to tap because Claudio had him locked in the inverted CHIKARA special, and but unfortunately player Uno tapped out and just put over Claudio and the B.D.K. in a big way, I guess. And that inverted CHIKARA special, that's like the submission that they stole from Quackenbush. That the B.D.K. stole from Quackenbush, so it kind of made sense for Claudio to use that as his finisher for this match. So, but this overall match wasn't anything special. Maybe 3 stars at the most. Next up, we had Gran Akuma versus Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston cut a great promo before the match, talking about how Gran Akuma dropped him on his head several years ago, and two guys really hate each other, and to get a chance to go at it again. And Eddie Kingston was excited to wrestle Gran Akuma. They just suplexed the crap out of each other. You could definitely feel the hatred between them, if there was any hatred. Really, really rough for the amount of time that he got. It went about 10 minutes, but it was solid. Eddie Kingston, without a doubt, he's the most over guy in CHIKARA, and I'm really becoming a big fan of him over the last 6 months. So that's Eddie Kingston and Gran Akuma. Very solid match, 3 stars. It was pretty short. So next up we had Tursas, Tim Donst, Lince Dorado, and Pink Ant of the B.D.K. versus Quackenbush, Jigsaw, Helios, and Equinox. Without a doubt, the match of the night. Your typical CHIKARA, lucha type of stuff. This put over the B.D.K. in a big way. Lince Dorado got the win with the shooting star press, but you could definitely start to identify and get more familiar with the B.D.K. After this whole show. You're starting to get used to them. The theme song, they're pretty much trying to take over CHIKARA. That's pretty much what it is, and I thought Lince Dorado looked really impressive, and Pink Ant is the one guy on the roster I think definitely has the most potential. I think he could definitely go in the ring, and he's great on the mic, and really enjoy his character. And all right, so like I said, that was the match of the night, and then we had the main event. We had the Order of Neo Solar Temple versus the Colony in a very disappointing match, in my opinion. Actually, surprisingly, this got time. It didn't feel like it got that much time because it only went 2 falls. the Champions de Parejas, the colony of the champions, and there were always 2 out of 3 falls for these matches. So the colony won 2 straight falls, but the problem was Aries came out from the B.D.K, kind of distracted Delirious, took out a chain, and Delirious went crazy, ran out of the building, and then the colony pinned Ultramantis Black to get the win. So yeah, I mean, I like the Colony. The Colony is 2 great wrestlers right there. The Fire Ant, Soldier Ant. I love those 2 guys. They can really go. But this for a main event, this is kind of disappointing. You would expect Chikara to deliver something great for the amount of money that you pay for these DVDs. But I don't think they're really about match quality. It's more about just having a fun show and nice storyline progression. So this is an easy show to sit through. But as far as match quality goes, like I said, it's just nothing special. But it's not something that I would really recommend, but it's not a bad show by any means. All right.